Hi, my name is Ursula Trantham, and I'd like to tell you about the Whitman Massacre. The story begins with Marcus Whitman. He was born September 4th, 1802. Marcus Whitman actually shared a relative with Abraham Lincoln. It was John Whitman of the Massachusetts Bay Colony in 1638. His granddaughter Sarah Whitman married Mordecai Lincoln, who was the great-great-grandfather of Abraham Lincoln. When he was 8 years old, his father died at the age of 37, which forced Whitman to live with relatives, which was maybe a good thing in the long run because it helped him with his pursuit in education and it made him desire the ministry. Unfortunately, a very expensive education. Narcissa Whitman, known first as Narcissa Prentice, came from a large family in Prattsburg, New York. She was the daughter of Judge Prentice and eventually became a schoolteacher. She was interested in missions herself. However, she could not go unmarried. Ministers in Marcus's age were the best educated men, but the financial burden led him to pursue the medical profession. It seemed the most altruistic profession he could find that didn't have the cost attached to it. At age 21, Whitman began practicing and writing with Dr. Bryant. He eventually would complete his MD in 1832. He practiced medicine for a few years and lived in Canada, where he also practiced medicine. After 4 years of studying medicine, he did return back to his first love, the study of theology and ministry, and he became an elder in the Presbyterian Church. It is important to note that at the time that Marcus was practicing medicine, in 1832 the cholera epidemic hit the United States. People could leave the house healthy in the morning and by sundown be dead from this awful disease that spread very quickly, and it took a while for them to figure out how it was spreading. Narcissa and Marcus were married in February of 1836, and then soon accepted with the American Board of Missions. This is Henry Spalding. Narcissa and Marcus traveled with Eliza and Henry Spalding and another missionary by the name of Gray and some fur traders. Eliza and Narcissa were the first white American women to cross the Rockies. This is Dr. John McLaughlin, who they all met on September 3rd, 1836, when they arrived at Fort Vancouver. Narcissa and Eliza stayed at Fort Vancouver while their husbands went to go look for the places that they were planning to settle. This is a drawing of the place where the Whitmans would eventually settle with the Cayuse Indians, and the Spaldings would eventually settle about 120 miles away with the Nez Perce Indians. The land the Whitmans decided to live on was by the Walla Walla River, which meant Little River because it flowed into the Columbia. The Indians called it Wailatpu, which was literally meant the place of ryegrass. The Nez Perce Indians were sad that the Whitmans did not choose, like the Spaldings, to live with them. They said that the Cayuse Indians caused troubles with whites, and they were sad that the Whitmans didn't join them. Later, other missionaries who visited them, like Jason Lee, a Methodist missionary, didn't quite understand why the Spaldings lived 120 miles away with the Nez Perce Indians and were from the same Presbyterian mission that the Whitmans were from with the Cayuse Indians. But they did not know that there was a little feud between the two couples, and that was one of the reasons why they separated and made their own missions.